Thank you all for joining us this morning. I'm here to give you an update on the Wegmans shooting which occurred Saturday night at approximately 4:15 here in the town of Gates at the Wegmans Distribution Center, 1500 Brooks Avenue. At approximately 4:15, our officers responded for the report of a male that was shot inside the facility. Upon arrival, one of our officers met up immediately with Wegmans Asset Protection. At that time, they began life-saving efforts on the victim who was at the location. The victim is being identified as Jameer Rodley Smith. He's 25 years old and a resident of the city of Rochester. He was at work at the time, doing what he does, which is working hard for the Wegmans Corporation. At that time, he was shot multiple times by another employee. We immediately were able to identify that employee as Keshawn Green, 32 years old. Through the investigation with our officers and Wegmans Asset Protection, we learned that he had fled the scene prior to police arrival. There was no more threat to any other employees inside the facility. There was no threat to any of the vendors inside the facility, nor our immediate Gates area as he had fled the scene. Through our investigation, we also learned that he had fled the state of New York, at which point we got the U.S. Marshals from Western New York, Chuck Salina, and Deputy U.S. Marshal Jeremy Moreo involved with us. We were able to use some investigative means and track him. Yesterday at approximately 7:30 p.m., he was taken into custody, the suspect, in Knoxville, Tennessee, by the U.S. Marshals Eastern District Office of Tennessee. That was through the work with Chuck and his partner Jeremy, and he was taken into custody without incident down there, which was a good job by the marshals down there. There's no more threat to any other people, any other persons that were down in that area or wherever he was traveling, which we still don't know what his final destination was. When he was taken into custody, he was in possession of a loaded 9mm handgun, which was recovered by the Marshal Service down there. And at the current moment, we are awaiting extradition to bring him back up here to Gates for arraignment and to face the charges for the incident up here. The scene, it was a chaotic scene. As you can see, some of our law enforcement partners are behind us here. We had the New York State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the Town of Greece Police responded. We had Rochester Police Department, assistance from the Office of Emergency Communications, and the Gates Special Police Unit also helped us out there. It came in as the shooting at the warehouse. We don't, in this day and age, don't know it is an active shooter. Is there a threat to more people there? So thankfully, we have great law enforcement partners in this area from the local all the way up to the federal level. They were able to come and assist us and provided as much help as they could. And we made sure that that scene was safe, and we made sure that everybody else inside that building was safe, and then we worked tirelessly to track this individual down and ultimately apprehend him and bring him to justice. It was just a great effort, great use of some old school police tactics and some of the new stuff that you see out there. So with that, I will open it up for any further questions if you have any.
You said it was a pretty chaotic scene. Were there a lot of other workers around, a lot of witnesses to this?
Yeah, so it was a Saturday afternoon, and if you know anything about Wegmans, that's a 24/7, 365-day operation. So there is no light shift, heavy shift. It's just heavy all the time. So there were employees in the facility. They were doing their work and helping out and doing what they do. So there were people who witnessed the incident. There were people that were at the facility just working, and probably some people that didn't even know that it had occurred.
Any kind of motive that you can discuss? Some sort of maybe dispute or anything that might have led to this?
So we're working on trying to figure out the motive. We've heard different stories. There's the rumor mill, different rumors out there, but at the current moment, we are trying to, determine that ourselves and be able to present that when we go to court.
You mentioned Knoxville. You feel like he was maybe passing through or maybe heading someplace else?
That we're still working on too. We honestly don't know what his final destination was, or what he was thinking or where he was headed. So that's part of the investigation that'll be ongoing too, to see where the ultimate landing point would have been.
I don't know if anybody can speak to security protocols that might be in place in a workplace like the warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, we have multiple warehouses throughout the town here. There's different security at different facilities. Your bigger companies have their own security teams, such as Wegmans. They have a pretty large security team to make sure that they're their assets are protected, that their employees are protected, that the buildings are safe and secure. And unfortunately, this was a tragic event that had occurred, and I know that they do their best job over there trying to help out and keep everyone safe.
And Chief, can you elaborate at all on, I guess, the location? Was this like a shift change at all? Was it parking lot? Was it inside the actual warehouse itself?
Yeah, it was inside the actual warehouse, inside the facility. It's a cooler unit of sorts, and it was. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny whether it was during a shift change, but it was definitely while employees were inside the facility working. Unfortunately, our victim at the time was loading pallets or working, doing his job.
And I know we heard from you this weekend, just briefly, obviously, the kind of eerie connection to the situation that happened, last week as well. It was a separate incident. Right now, is it still believed that those are two totally separate incidents, and is that suspect still being sought?
Yes, so these are definitely two separate incidents. We do not have any information or anything that would tie the two. We're looking for a completely different suspect in the other incident as well.
This might be a question more directed for Wegmans, but we've heard reports that employees have made requests for security measures in the past, specifically metal detectors. And we're wondering if there's going to be any update on those security measures or if those might go through in the future.
I'll just pass that in a second because I'll bring a Wegmans rep up here that wants to read a statement, so I'll let you ask her. But if you had any other further questions for me, so.
The suspect, is he known to police? Does he have any prior run-ins with you guys?
So the suspect was not known to us. I don't think we've had issues or have dealt with him here in the town of Gates. So it was not somebody that we had our eyes on or thought would be a violent individual.
Are there any updates on the Amazon case right now?
Amazon, no.
And for the extradition, is that expected today, and what charges will you be facing?
Yeah, so hopefully we'll extradite him as quickly as possible. Obviously, there's a process through that, and he's quite a few hours away from here to get him back here. And then when he comes up here, we will talk with the district attorney's office, but I can say he'll be charged with murder. Depending on what degree, then we'll work on that with them and bring him to arraignment, and we will update the media when he's in town and then in custody with us. At this time, I'd just like to bring up a rep from Wegmans, and they will read a statement for you.
Thank you. I'm Dina Percassi, Vice President of Communications and Community Engagement for Wegmans. So we just want to say we're grateful for the tireless efforts of law enforcement and their swift action in apprehending the suspect in the shooting. We extend our heartfelt thanks to the Gates Police Department and all other law enforcement who assisted. As a valued member of our team, Jameer's passing leaves a void in our hearts. He will be missed. To Jameer's family, friends, and loved ones, the entire team at Wegmans sends our heartfelt support and care. We wish you peace and strength during this incredibly difficult time. Thank you.
Are you taking questions?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Chief, are you assisting, the family in terms of just like counseling or anything as well, just through the process?
Yeah, we've been in contact with the family multiple times, and anything that they need, we've let them know that we're here. If counseling services, provide them, family members with my cell phone if they just want to call and chat, to talk about the incident or anything. That's what we're here for. That's the part of law enforcement that you don't see. Everyone thinks that we're just out there to arrest people and write tickets, but it's also about helping people out, helping victims out, being there, being a resource, being that stranger that they may be able to call at 4 o'clock at night and just lay out some items and just talk to you. So we've done that in the past, and that's what we're here for.
And any message to the community, just in terms of just the situations that have happened so recently, and just of course it appears these are isolated incidents, but just in terms of the public safety in general and just concerns that folks may have.
Yeah, as I said the other night, Gates is a great community. I was born and raised here myself. I'm raising a child in the Gates Child Eye School District. Obviously, I still work here. I love Gates, spend a lot of time here. It is a very safe community, and 99.9% of the time, people come into our community They use Tinseltown, Home Depot, Wegmans, Walmart, and everything is safe, great. You go outside the community and you go back home. Our residents here are phenomenal. We don't have lots of problems. This is tragic that we had 2 major incidents within 2 days of each other. Very unheard of in our town. Yes, we have problems just like any other town. Any other town, village. Unfortunately, everybody out there these days, it's conflict is resolved with shooting and stabbing. It wasn't like that years ago. You know, back in our days, some of us older people, you fought with fists, and then 2 days later, you guys are at the same lunch table sharing pizza, and that's how you resolved something. These days, it's totally different, and these younger people are making decisions that impact a lifetime for them. We got 15, 16, 17-year-olds going to prison for life because somebody says something wrong or texts something, or you know, they get some sort of beef and they just pull that trigger. You don't realize, you know, in their minds what's going on and what the results of that one action are. So that's one of the things, like in the town of Gates, we pride ourselves on trying to keep the community safe. You see a lot of Gates police cars out there. We go out and stop cars and try and catch all the people stealing and doing whatever in the town to keep it safe for our community. And I think we do a pretty good job here. I'm very proud of the team that we have here. Our investigators, the officers, all the way up to the command staff that have been working tirelessly since the Amazon shooting. And you know, that was a big incident that we were dealing with. And then to have another one right at the same time, definitely unheard of here. And it was pretty taxing on our staff, but they've persevered and they continue to do so. And I'm very proud of them. I don't want to insult any of my partners back here, but I work with the best team, and I really feel that in my heart. And I know that they have done awesome here, from the office staff all the way up. So I appreciate everything that's going on with our town. I appreciate the residents reaching out too. We are here for them. They pay for us through their taxes, and we will continue to do our best job to protect them and to protect anybody that comes to Gates.
You mentioned using some old school police tactics, and this investigation moved pretty quickly. Can you speak to what some of the components were in getting this investigation wrapped up?
I don't want to speak to what tactics we used, but it was interesting to see in my 24 years of law enforcement the progression of old school and new school tactics that you can use, and where things bring, and how quick we can come up with some of the information that we do arrive without jeopardizing our case for trial. I just would hold that back at the current moment. So. Did you want to say anything at all, Supervisor, or just? This is Supervisor Cosmo Junta, Gates.
Thank you. I just wanted to commend, my police department, and including the other agencies that assisted us in this investigation. I mean, it's like Chief Long said, it's very uncharacteristic that this happens here in Gates like that. It happens everywhere, but to have 2 of them in a matter of 48 hours, very uncharacteristic. Gates is all about family, safety. That's what we promote. We support our police officers here, our staff, and I just want to say great job to all of them for getting through this very quickly, and hopefully we can bring the suspect and to court and get him what he deserves. So thank you very much, and thank you guys.
Anything else? No? All right, thank you guys for coming.